Oh man, it's like Kool-Aid. I love me some Bacardi rum. Totally not a sponsor. Oh, right. This. So, I'm just going to be frank with you. I did this really, really early in the morning on Wednesday, and I was probably still drunk from the night before. So, yeah, you are seeing a Krau, Ravi, and Moon Bunny Dominiel going into a team that doesn't even really utilize debuffs, and only one unit that utilizes the extra turn mechanic, that being Ahmed. Now, in retrospect, looking at this, I'm a fucking idiot. So, no matter what I do, pretty much, I'm kind of screwed, because my only form of healing is coming from Moon Bunny, so I just pretty much decide, alright, I'm just going to go in and straight up sack her, because she took a huge amount of damage from Rimuru, and this felt like a damage Rimuru, which it kind of was, so I just took this opportunity to, we'll get rid of the skill null on him, and then we'll Krau him out. Thankfully that works, and we also didn't miss, so hey, now we don't have to worry about Rimuru anymore. But we still have to worry about Ahmed, and we have to worry about Mercedes, and we're not utilizing any real form of healing, and we just got utterly fucked by Magic for Friends. So we've lost our Ravi, we've lost our healer, Moon Bunny Dominiel, and all we have left is Krau. So to those of you who are astute in the audience, unlike myself, you would probably immediately realize that you're kind of fucked in this situation. Because, one, we haven't killed Mercedes once yet, so we still have 2 lives to go through. And 2, we're really, really low on health. We're not rocking crazy meta, like, weird stuff like a revenge set on Krau or like a lifesteal set on Krau. Something that's, in all honesty, probably a pretty nifty idea that you could do. But I'm not rocking any of that, like, crazy shit. It's just a normal, like, speed set. And in fact, my Krau probably does need to be rebuilt. We need to probably do some, like, interesting stuff, because you don't really fight Rimuru all that often, and that's, like, the only time I even bring Krau in. But, like, right here, I'm already realizing, yeah, I do still have Holy Sack, but the issue is we're probably not going to be able to get to our turn to Horse before Ahmed is going to put up another skill null. Totally legit, fair, and balanced character right there. So, like, right here, it's completely over. Like, the smart decision to be at this point is, hey, hit that little fucking pause button up there at the top and hit yield. So, I go for it, and in my drunken stupor, miss, and oh cool, now Krau's dead. Woo! What a fun game. But anyway, so on to the next round. We're going to be fighting Karina, Winter, and Alencia. So what I ultimately do here is, like, anytime I see Winter, I usually like to bring Roana into that, because she can still heal even if, like, you're fighting an effectiveness monster Winter, which that one is, because she hit my my Roana. My Roana is, like, almost close to 200 effect resist. So the immediate threat that I'm seeing right now is anytime I see Alencia, I'm going to immediately make the assumption that she's on an injury set. And my hunch is 100% correct, because that in the S3 that she does not injure normally. It injured Ed. So I was correct in my assumption. So what we need to do is we just need to kill Alencia as soon as possible. As soon as she goes down, then we can just rely on Winter to hit into Ed to proc Equivalent Exchange. And then when Equivalent Exchange goes out, we'll eventually, just everything will work out, and I'll have my openings to just kill the rest of the teams. Because that right there, that's just a fast Winter. She's not tanky. Like, at all. Like, I think, like, right here, I get my opportunity to go into her, and she just straight up dies. Like right here. Yep. Works out fine. But, now, all we have to do is we just pretty much have to bide our time, wait until we can go into the ae-KARINA accordingly. Because, the reason why I brought Fallen CC was just for, like, the little bits of barriers that she's going to do. And of course, you know, in my drunken stupor in the morning, because, look, I'll tell you right now, whenever you do a bunch of dumb shit in the morning, and then you have a chance to, like, sober up after you've have lost like a complete fucking idiot, you stop making really, really dumb decisions. Because the big thing was, like, oh yeah, I'll have Fallen Cece there. She provides some barriers so that, like, you know, the Alencia isn't going to just completely, like, injure the hell out of me. Well, I mean, you know, Alencia's S3 strips. So, and I think it still does, like, hit you a little bit. Like, even if you do have, barriers, but like even see, like I can't even remember the very beginning of this fight. I'm assuming I probably took so much damage that I lost my barrier on Ed, so then he did take a little bit of injury from the Alencia. But hey, you know what? We're done with this fight. Let's go ahead and we're gonna wake up here, and we're gonna do better. We're gonna do better now that we've gotten out of bed, because I did this while I was laying in bed. So now that we're a little bit more awake, we're going to go for an Ahmed, Zahhak, and Illynav kind of comp here. Because, like, if that first match was anything to go on, Ahmed is kind of fucking broken. I don't know if anybody's kind of aware of that, because, you know, speed is kind of king and really, really retarded. So I'm going to go for the swift attack on Illynav, just so she can turn cycle a little bit more, and I'm going to attempt to see if I can one-tap this Rem. And ultimately, I have so much damage that I do. So Rem is gone. And now we get the opportunity to S3 with Illynav, do a big chunk of injury damage right here. And because of Swift Attack, we immediately get the very next turn because of the 50% combat readiness combined with Swift Attack. We just get 2 turns pretty much right off the bat. Illynav has been utterly crippled with injury and is about to proc her S3. So, who's she going to hit? Going to be the blue unit, that being Ahmed. And I also happen to have Skill Null. So she just essentially wasted her S3. So now, all we have to do, because Destina was going to use her S3 to revive and heal, we're just going to go into Zahhak, kill Rem one more time, and then as soon as we get the opportunity, which right here I could have taken this chance to just straight up kill Yulha. I don't know why I didn't do it. I don't know, man. Don't drink excessively before, like the night before, whenever you're doing commentary for these videos, and then while you're still high and drunk from whatever, then attempt to do another Guild War immediately afterwards, or the first thing in the morning. You just tend to do really stupid shit. Let's call that basically some form of advice. Yeah, because like right here, this was another stupid decision. Why would I even attempt to do that? Because I'm pretty positive that Yulha was probably on Aureus. But you know what? Hey, whatever. We're good to go. Now we can just S3 into Destina, and it's over, baby. God damn, that is some good shit. But anyway, round 2. So, if you saw from the first match, we don't have Krau anymore. And we still have to do some Rimuru shenanigans. So, here is Conqueror, Lilias, Apocalypse, Ravi, and Rimuru. So I was like, well, I don't have a lot of blue tanks that are like really built right now. I know. I'm going to use my my Wyvern 13 tank Rose. Pretty much using nothing but PvE gear. What could possibly go wrong? As a matter of fact, it's going to go very well, because we had just enough HP to where we just don't get utterly annihilated by Rimuru, and I have a metric fuck ton of defense on my Rose. So she doesn't take a whole lot of damage. She just needs more HP, because that's like the big thing with Rimuru, is he counters... Well, not really counters, but he's hard to fight because he bypasses, like, high defense because of the guaranteed, like, 10k that his S3 does if it hits. So, we have our bait for Rimuru with Rose, but then you probably saw that right there where I had to check the S2. Yeah, guys, I don't use Rose that often. I actually legit forgot what it did. So I just, like, checked it to read it real quick. So, right here we have Archdemon Mercedes, who... I almost never use Archdemon, but in all honesty, Archdemon's pretty based, because we have Doris here to bait all of the damage from the Apocalypse Ravi, and we have a little bit of barrier shenanigans from Rose that we can utilize, so just so we don't get like hit by injury from the Apocalypse Ravi if she's pulled from the Conqueror Lilias. And also Rose just so happens to have attack buff. Like, which is another really cool thing about her. So thankfully, we were able to get a lot of counterattack and like S1, S2 kind of procs with Archdemon Mercedes, and because of that, we have attack buff burn on the actual enemy, and they're just going to start dying in droves. Like, boom, boom, And now all we have left is Apocalypse Ravi. So she's only going to go into Doris, and she's deaf broken, she's blind, she has 2 stacks of burn. She's also sealed, by the way, because what that means is anytime you hit her, she doesn't heal. Because the heal is based off of her S2, and I think it's also on the S1, which is why you also saw her heal a little bit from that S1. But if you hit her, she doesn't heal, as long as she's sealed, which is super, super based. Like, yeah, Archdemon Shadow is still a mad, mad fun unit, and I'm probably going to start using her a little bit more, because, I mean, mine is built. I just don't see a lot of, like, really great opportunities to use her. I'm probably going to be changing that sometime soon. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, damn right, Rose, it was a good fight. Yeah. And now let's move on to the last fight. So, I'm going to do my absolute best when we get to round 2 to speed this up as much as I can, because, yeah, you'll see who it is. But either way, we're fighting Conqueror Lilias. We're fighting, who else? ae-KARINA and Apocalypse Ravi. So, ultimately, Karina is going to go into Ed, and then, you know, we're going to do equivalent exchange, like, back and forth, just because of the ae-KARINA going into Ed. And the only real big thing that we need to do ASAP, because we landed a provoke on Conqueror Lilias, is we need to kill her now. The reason why is I just don't want her to drag any Apocalypse Ravis into my Ed. Because, like, my Ed actually really functions a lot more off of his HP than he does his crit damage. I should perhaps maybe change that in the future. Like, because I just don't want any injury to happen to him at all. But, like, I don't know, man. I really, really do like my Ed, just being the super, super tanky wall that he is. But either way, we have Doris here to bait, like, all the attacks from Apocalypse Ravi, and then we have Alencia, who's basically just our ace in the hole for anything that Ed can't do. Because the biggest thing that, like, kind of sucks about Ed is Ed can't really deal with Apocalypse Ravi, like, by himself. He really can't. At least mine certainly can't. Like, if you have a damage Ed, you can do a lot of crazy shit with him. If you have a lifesteal Ed, you can sustain yourself through lots of crazy shit. If you have Sigurd's Scythe, you can do a lot of great stuff there, too. I think, like, I'm just utilizing Draco Plate because I just don't have a whole lot of crit damage, and that's why I'm utilizing Draco Plate. But either way, that's why Alencia is there. Alencia is there to just do all the cleanup after we deal with ae-KARINA and Conqueror Lilias. So, like, right here, we're just going to Soul Burn, Death Break, and then S2 follow-up, and Shazam. The A-Ravi is dead. So, the next opportunity that we really get to go into ae-KARINA, we're just going to go ahead and kill her as well with Alencia. So, this is actually a pretty fast ae-KARINA. That's just how it is. And I'm also, like, missing all of my good shots on her. So it's like, this is where it feels really, really good to have Alencia to go into this. Pretty nice. Because, yeah, right here, we're just going to Soul Burn S1, get the S2, and Shazam, she be dead. I do love my Alencia a lot. Now, looky who it is. It is Conqueror Lilias, Christy, and Roana. Wow. Guys, I'm not drunk yet, please. Christy, Shadow Knight Pyllis, and Roana. But, either way, we're going into Lua, Choux, and then Alencia. So, ultimately, y'all already know what's coming. It's going to be a very long and boring kind of fight. I do my absolute best to kind of speed this up as soon as I kill the Choux. Because, pretty much like it always is, Choux is the only actual real threat. Now, Alencia is on this team as well, and you don't see Alencia on defense all that often. And also, weirdly enough, this Alencia in particular is not on injury set. So, that doesn't mean that I'm 100% like, you know, free, because as we all, like, if you don't remember, the injury that Alencia does is on the S2 follow-up. That's Stomp. So, anytime that she does her S2 follow-up, that's the stuff that's going to result in the injury. However, because we're not dealing with an injury Alencia, she's not going to just go absolutely ham-hocks crazy with injury, so I really don't have much to worry about. And because of that, I just decided, yeah, I'm going to keep going into Choux. So, like I said, it's pretty slow going, but it's also very, very steady, because Choux is only going to go into Shadow Knight Pyllis. Lua is also only going to go into Shadow Knight Pyllis. And because of that, that just leaves Alencia to target whoever is going to be the lowest on, like, their HP. The good news is, the Aureus that Christy is taking is almost always having her take, like, having that HP dip. So then she's usually the target for Alencia. Not really that big of a deal, because even if Alencia went into Shadow Knight Pyllis, it's not that big of a deal. Because Alencia... Shadow Knight Pyllis functions off of defense. She doesn't function off of, like, HP or anything. So that makes Shadow Knight Pyllis not, like, a super scared, like, unit of injury. It's actually, like, super awesome. Because she's really bruisery, she can take a lot of abuse, and she can actually do a fair bit of damage because of Rocket Punch that's on her kit. Just because of how Shadow Knight Pyllis functions, she gains so much defense just over the course of the match. Like, hey, all you have to do is hit her like 3 times, and then she essentially gains... I forget right now, but it's like 10, 20, 30, 40... It's either 40% or 50% every time she's hit. So, yeah, and then that stacks 3 times. It's super, super amazing of, like, how much defense she gains just from 3 hits alone. And then, of course, like, every 4th hit that she takes, she just gives the entire party death buff. Super awesome. But, yeah, if you weren't aware of what I just did right there, I just did, like, a little bit of editing just to speed up, like, the Alencia fight. Because the Alencia is not a threat. She's only going into, like, Christy and occasionally Shadow Knight Pyllis. But, like I said before, she's not an HP scaling bruiser. She is a defense scaling bruiser. So, and then also right here, I'm going to speed this up as well. Just... yeah, like right there. Because you guys don't need to see me, like, beat up on Lua. Lua by herself is actually a complete non-threat. And with that said, that's the Guild War. So, we guys got a few things to talk about real quick. One thing in particular I'm going to go in and bring up. Friday, there is not going to be a video. As a matter of fact, I am going to be in LA. I will, I'll let whoever needs to talk about that if they need to talk about that. I don't know if I need to say anything about it, but yeah, I'm gonna be away for just a few, well, actually for literally 1 day. So I'll be back, and I'll do my my Friday Guild War on like Saturday or something. So I don't know. We'll see. It depends. I'm gonna be really, really busy this weekend anyway. But I just figured I'd go in and let y'all know. Yeah, I'm not gonna put out anything on Friday, but I'll see about doing whatever I can to get it going as soon as possible. Oh, man, I keep forgetting how absolutely huge Ahmed's hands are. Yeah, seriously, go watch, go look at her portrait right there. Her hands are huge. But anyway, yeah, like I said, no video Friday, but I will hopefully try and make myself a Last Rider Krau video. For the Friday Guild War whenever I eventually get around to it, because I recently touched up his gear a little bit, and I'm very, very, very happy with it. So I'll see if I can go in and I can get that working, and I hope that you absolutely enjoy it, because I had a fair bit of fun playing around with it. Basically all I did was I just gave him some ER and a little bit more HP, and he still has like all the tankiness that he had before. So yeah, hopefully it'll work out. And if I happen to run into like any crazy-ass, like super debuff Briar Witch's areas, I'm going to see if I can throw Christy at that, and I'll see if that works out. Either way, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited to take the old motorcycle out for a spin. And hopefully, I'll see a lot of units that I can use it against. But, anyway... thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you guys liked it. If you did, go on ahead and leave a like. And if you like my content, or if you want to see more of my content, go ahead and hit subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. It does wonders for my mental health. Later.